So obviously love teaching. That sounds like, obviously the transformation of just doing, learning, the passion for it turned into teaching, and then now the school.
Yeah, so I work with an astrologer, and it's funny. She's like, I know you're having a hard time, but like meditate on this new moon. There's going to be a big shift. I'm like, okay. And that was, I had to leave the folks I was working for. They were great guys, but I'm a Taurus. I'm not bossy. I just have better ideas. And so I had all these ideas with how they should do things and how I wanted to do it. And I think they were my friends, but we were just clashing, horns, just hitting each other. And so, that night I woke up and I was like, you got to start your own business. You got to do your own thing. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, God. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Something to learn.
Mm-hmm. And so I started the Alaska Packraft School, and it was just me teaching, and this was pre-COVID. So, I called it the Jule Show. I'm out there teaching, and there was such a need for it. I turned away over 100 students, and I didn't want to water down the product or run myself dry, and so I started teaching, and it was so fun. Being a good enough boater and a good enough educator, my friends were like, can I come? And I was like, actually, I need a safety paddler. And so I was, teaching technique and river reading, and they were growing their skills, but they were helping me run the courses.
That's cool.
And so it was, I had volunteers making it happen the first year, and then COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, man, okay, I'm not teaching, I'm not guiding. And I was meditating, and I got a little download. It was like, you're going to write a book. I was like, what? Whoa. And so that was in the fall. And I started writing this. I started making an outline and going to the drawing board and trying to write kind of an Ayurvedic psychology, alternative lifestyle medicine, and methods to healing. But it wasn't coming, and it wasn't fun. I was having a hard time writing it. And then I was paddling with I think Russell Biggs, rest in peace. He died a few years ago, and Tim Johnson. And Russ goes, "Hey Tim, are you ever gonna do an update for the Alaska Whitewater Guidebook you wrote?" Tim's like, "Nah." He's like, "I don't want to pay the money and do the publishing." And Russ is like, "I'll help you out." And Tim's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." And then I was like, "Wow, maybe I could write a guidebook." And so I'm like, Tim's not gonna do it. Roman's not going to do it. I asked them, and Luke wasn't going to do it. Luke Mell, he wrote the Packraft Handbook.